applause if you got the freaking mics on. Oh, yeah, thank you. Always love making people applaud for myself. That's great. Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Schtick Live. Holy cow, I'm going to spotlight my video. All right, it's summertime, and we're still in quarantine, but we're having fun, and we got some awesome comics here. They're going to perform. This is a show I've been doing for about 2 years now, and I started in Washington, D.C., so we got some comics from D.C. who are gracing us tonight, and then we've got some awesome comics from Chicago and beyond. I was actually able to do the show twice before quarantine, and we've got some repeat comics from then. They're back again. Very excited for that. I normally host this with either Elizabeth, Fulton, or Brad, but they're both out of commission tonight, working or doing other things. So it's just me. But I'm real pumped to be with all y'all tonight. And I'm gonna, in the past, we asked for, it's a free show, but if you wanted to donate any money to our PayPal account, we always give it away to a good cause, whether it's the venues that were hosting us when they were closed. This show is actually, all the proceeds are going to go towards Black Lives Matter movement. So if you want to donate anything at all, I'll put it in the little chat here, but it's going to be shtickcomedy@gmail.com through PayPal. Whatever you can would be great. And hopefully you can raise some money tonight, which would be really cool for a kick-ass cause. Let's see. Okay. I got some new material for you guys. You ready for this? Holy cow. Okay, so I just found out about a new food type, which I was pretty excited about. Someone was like, oh, I was having a chicken, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, so put me on blast if I am. But they're like, oh, I was having a chicken Kiev the other day. And I was like, a chicken Kiev? And like, I don't know if most people know this, but I had never heard of this. So I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds fancy. And come to find out, it's like a chicken cordon bleu. You can get them at the store, individual packages. You don't have to be in a fancy restaurant to order a chicken cordon bleu. You can just get it. Yeah. It's like it's a whole process. So I didn't know that. I was like, oh, it looks like a Hot Pocket. So I'm gonna explore in the world of Kievs. And I got some Kievs. You have to cook them for like 30 minutes because it's it's uncooked chicken, breaded uncooked chicken with like hot contents inside. You choose what the contents are. So I get this chicken Kiev and was really excited today to have one. Realized it was gonna take a half hour. So I'm starving by the time these Kievs get out. And the last time I had a Kiev, technically a chicken cordon bleu, was like maybe 10 years ago. And I remember the insides being like stuffed to the brim. I got like a cheap one. So it was like 90% breading and then like the rest was the chicken and contents. I took a bite out of it, and you guys, I don't know if you've ever done this with food before. I've definitely done it with milk. I inhaled it. I wasn't ready for like the amount of dryness and bread. I inhaled it backwards through my system. And started like backwards snorting Kiev in my system. I was literally sneezing out breadcrumbs. It was like the most painful, stupid thing I've ever done. I'm like dying. I can't even breathe. My roommate hears this from the bedroom. He's probably like, oh, fuck, he's got corona. Like, I'm like, Jesus. So breadcrumbs shooting out. And then you ever have like one of those, like, you ever like hawk up a loogie in the morning or something? Like, you're like, oh, and it's like a flambot. I literally flambotted a chicken nugget from the back of my face. I don't even know where it came from. It was gross, you guys. So that's how my quarantine is going so far. I do have a girlfriend now. Probably not after this if she hears about my incident. Thank you. And it's been interesting because I haven't dated anybody in a long time. I've just been kind of used to like, in terms of like hookups, just like kind of like one night stand type situations. And it's weird being with someone and them. It's great. You should communicate what you want. But I'm like, I guess I'm just very white bread, stale, whatever. I don't really know how to explore outside of my realm. I'm trying to. But she basically, I mean, she says I act like a dad all the time, but then she started calling me Bae and Daddy through text. I don't know if you've ever gotten a daddy text or if you've sent a daddy text. And I don't know how to respond to that. So I usually just say, like, what's up, dude? Or lately I just like, thank you, daughter, which doesn't usually, not that's, specific demographic. So we're in the bedroom the other day, and she's like, I want you to spank me. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, what else are you going to do to me? And I was like, I do improv, so I could probably yes and this. So I was like, go in the corner and think about what you've done. And so she did. She goes, ooh, what did I do? And I said, listen, you still have not defunded the police. What the fuck are you doing? Right? Current topics. Okay. I'm bad in the bedroom. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. I recently met up with a friend of mine, and I told her I had a girlfriend now. And she said, oh, well, I have to look up her birth chart. And I don't know if you guys are you guys CoStar followers? Do you follow the CoStar? Birth chart, it's like your horoscope. It's like an intense horoscope that says everything about you, apparently. So they look up, you need like when they were born and where they were born at. So she's like having me text my girlfriend. I'm like, what time were you born at? Where was it? What is your social security number? Your credit card. I'm like, this seems sketchy. And essentially she goes, we look it up, and she goes, oh my gosh, Gemini. And she's like, this is awful. This is not good at all. She's actually two people within one person. She's only giving you half the story. I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, well, let's look at the moons. So we lined up our moons. We lined up our birth charts. And she goes, okay, this is good. Both of your moons are in Cancer, or cancerous moons. And then she's like, your rising signs are both Libras. So that means that you can both communicate and understand each other well. And I was like, that's so wild, because the other day when I left the toilet seat up, and she said, hey, asshole, don't fucking do that. I understood where she was coming from. Like, it's the moons, of course. I'll say one more thing before we get into our show. Probably the favorite thing that I like about quarantine times is working from home. And I really like being able to be a part of Zoom meetings, because I can mute and turn my camera off and then go take a shit during the Zoom meeting. Has anyone else done this? Am I the only one living this luxurious life of just letting ones rip while Joel is going on about how we need to work over the weekend? I'm like, Joel, the like long trumpet fart for like when he starts talking. I'm like, he doesn't know. I don't know. I like it. I think it's good until the problem is I've done it so many times now that it's almost like a trigger. Whenever I go into Zoom, I now have to go to the bathroom. Like, I can't control it. I yell to a dog, and sometimes I get caught in there where they ask me a question, and now I have to present to 50 people in the company, and like I just flushed, so I have to like cover it up by like coughing. I'll just be like, I just inhaled a chicken Kiev. It's not. I didn't poop. That's my set, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the laughs. I appreciate it. Okay. Enough Kiev jokes, for the love of God. Up first tonight. I'm also going to ask this. I'm going to ask this of all of the comics tonight. If you want to share something that you don't miss from before COVID. Everybody misses a lot of stuff. What's something you don't miss? Like, I don't know, slow walkers, am I right? Or going to the YMCA and just seeing a dude's balls on display. Like, I don't know. I don't miss that, right? So if you want to, you can put that out there. You don't have to, but we're trying to be a little bit more positive on 2020. Up first, that being said, our first comic, you've seen her perform a bunch of times in Schtick. She kills it every time. Please give it up. Oh, let me get some music up so I can bring in properly. Give it up for Chelsea Moubarak.
All right, thank you, Seth. Let's get this started. You guys want to unmute yourselves? Because it was really awkward last time we did this when nobody was laughing. On mute. I don't miss FOMO and going on shitty dates with Republicans. And I really love these Zoom shows because usually I look like Amy Winehouse, so that really close to the camera. I look like Vin Diesel. My family is from Lebanon, and our claim to fame is seasonings and hummus. Not Lebanon, Tennessee. Your claim to fame is Cracker Barrel. One day, I'm gonna run for office and call myself Lebanese Nuts. The other day, I tried to feed a chinchilla, and she was like, I don't want a bite of your half-eaten French fry. I don't try to feed you my hay. Get your smartphone out of my face. And I was like, I bet a dolphin would do it. They got no hands. Go get me a blanket. I'm feeling a little chinchilly. So I got her a blanket and told her to take a chinchilla. Anyway, 2020 has been rough. We had a tornado here in Nashville in March, and it was terrible. Like, there was so much wreckage. I went down to volunteer for a couple of days. I surveyed the scene, and my heart just broke. Like, I have never seen so many hot guys in flannel with chainsaws in my life. Like, it wrecked me. I was down there for the rest of the week. That same weekend, we had a bunch of Democrats drop out of the election. First was Mayor Pete, who looks like an 8-year-old and gets his hair cut at Great Clips. We had Elizabeth Warren, who entered this race with like big dick energy, but then realized that she was working with a chode, and so she didn't really know how to utilize it and like shift her strategy, make the changes she needed, so she lost. Mike Bloomberg dropped out. I did some work for him and his security team, who are hilarious, and they were like, what are you doing here? You want to get to the White House? You want to be in the Situation Room? Come on, come to New York. I'll take you to the shore. You can meet the situation. Speaking of campaigns, I'm getting really sick of Trumpy campaigns. Nobody should be emulating Donald Trump. He's literally like an American girl on spring break in Croatia. He's got a fake spray tan, a really annoying voice, and he sucks way too much Russian cock. Cancel culture is killing my sexual fantasies. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Peter Pan, and I would make my babysitter role play with me. Not like that. And so now my fantasy will go something like this. I would jump off the couch like Wendy and just like pretend I could fly. And then Captain Hook would capture me and he would try and make me walk the plank. But then Peter Pan would come and he would rescue me and he would take me away. And he'd be like, don't worry, Wendy, I'll save you. And I'd be like, I know, I can tell by that big bulge in your tights. And then he'd pick me up and he would carry me away. But now because of that "What Makes the Red Man Red" Ugga 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 song, he got killed. So what if we just rewrote that song and we were like, Ugga Ugga ah. And then the chief could be like, Peter Pan, mighty warrior, save Chelsea, make her heap glad. When I was in high school, my dad caught me and my boyfriend in the front seat of my car in the driveway, which is dumb because I'm from suburbia and there were plenty of cul-de-sacs. So we could have used one of those instead of me giving my boyfriend a cul-de-sac of balls. And my dad caught us, and that was really embarrassing. He may have seen more, though, if his back hair hadn't gotten caught in the bushes while he was getting out of the car and coming on over to the house. It's like raining outside. It's like dripping off of his Eugene Levy eyebrows. He's just like, I can't see. He took me inside and he was like, Chelsea, do you realize you could have given that boy an erection? Dad, he's 17. Like, when does he not have an erection? At that age, everything gives you an erection. Reader's Digest, Mary Kate Ashley, tater tots, when they're nice and crisp around the edges. The smell of your mother's perfume. Do you guys realize, since there are 40 of you on here, do you realize how much emotional labor men make women do? It's like, you get a dog because you think it will protect you, but then he's like, I'm not doing that. I've been out on the streets for way too long. You're my emotional support human. I'm getting really sick of this self-care bullshit. You think Abe Lincoln took care of himself? Do you think MLK took a bubble bath after the March on Washington? Do you think Gandhi lit a bunch of candles and ate chocolate ice cream out of the pint? Well, no, because he was fasting, but no, they worked hard. And they all got assassinated. What if we changed the lyrics of the Yang Yang twin songs so that grandmas were singing them? I think that would spice up 2020. So it would be like, what if your grandma was singing, she was like, hey, bitch, will you drink my tea, bitch? We could also modernize Lil Jon lyrics for gay people. Turn around for butt. Okay. I'm gonna say one last thing. One of my friends who I love dearly, I hope she's watching, got seriously fat shamed by some fucking loser named Richard. He's a dick. And so I wrote a little song for all you fat shamers out there. It goes like this. Okay. My tummy makes your penis look small if you stick it in my
Oh my God.
It's beautiful, and so am I. I hope you and your toxic masculinity die. OC out.
Keep it going for Chelsea. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's oh yeah, keep it going for Chelsea. That was awesome. All right, thank you so much. I love the spoon drop too. The wooden spoon drop. Classic, iconic. Up next, we have another comic who is coming to us from the DC area, I believe. Keep it going for Jason Fliegel, everybody.
Hey, thanks, Seth. Hey, Seth, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Are you pooping? Are you pooping right now?
I gotta turn my video off real quick.
All right. By the way, you didn't ask me, but the thing I don't miss from before the pandemic is wearing pants. I haven't worn pants since like the first week of March, which is actually a little awkward because my work didn't shut down till the third week of March, but whatever. That's water under the bridge now. Hey, look, I really only came on here to ask you guys to visit my website. It's jasonfliegel.com. You can see how to spell my name down in the corner. jasonfliegel.com. Or if you're my grandmother, http:// Why do old people do that? You don't need to type that anymore. I'm actually the second person to have the website jasonfliegel.com. You would think the first person would be another person named Jason Fliegel. You'd be wrong. It was a guy named Dave. Dave bought jasonfliegel.com because he fucking hated me and he wanted the world to know. And I don't know if you've ever hated anyone, but if you ever hated anyone so much you bought their name as a website, a lot of hate. So back when Dave owned the website, you would type jasonfliegel.com into your web browser, and it would pull up this page, and at the top it said Jason Fliegel, in case you typed jasonfliegel.com and you weren't sure what the page was about. And then right below it, it said welcome, which is nice and friendly. Don't get comfortable because it takes a sharp left turn after that. The next thing it says is Jason Fliegel is a fucking asshole. Which I get it. A lot of people think that, but not a lot of people put that on a website. So you really can't follow welcome with Jason Fliegel is a fucking asshole. That's not an appropriate follow-up for welcome. You need to ease people. You need to ease me into that is what I'm saying. And I need to pause here and explain why Dave hated me so much. Dave hated me because I was getting a divorce from his sister. And he took that personally, which I don't know why. She's the one who asked for the divorce. It wasn't my idea. I mean, first of all, I'm not surprised our marriage didn't work out. I was 22 when I got married to her, which is way too young to get married. When you're 22, you can't even rent a car. We live in a world that let me wreck my life, but wouldn't let me wreck a Kia. And look, people warned me we were too young. Here's the thing, my, at the time, fiance and I, we went to premarital counseling, and our rabbi said, oh no, you guys are mature enough, you can get married. I thought I was totally vindicated until about 5 years later, I saw that rabbi featured on To Catch a Predator. Turns out he's a terrible judge of who's mature enough. So, yeah, Catholics know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we're getting a divorce. It was my ex's idea. She came to me. She said she was unhappy and she wanted to go find herself. That's what she told me. What I later found out was actually going on is she was having an affair with her own nephew. Yeah, that was my reaction. And look, to this day, I don't know if she ever found herself. I will give her partial credit since she found a close relative. Maybe a kind of, I don't know. And look, in her defense, it was 2014. Game of Thrones was super hot. I don't know. Maybe she wanted to be a Lannister. But my ex and her nephew / boyfriend, they moved together to this town called Hagerstown in Maryland. And if you're not familiar, Hagerstown is the part of Maryland that really wishes it was West Virginia. So if you want to live in Maryland and also fuck your own nephew, move to Hagerstown, I guess. I actually, back when we could go out in public, I told this joke and someone came up to me after the show and said, hey man, I'm from West Virginia and we don't all sleep with our own relatives there, which has got to be the worst flex ever, right? That's what I thought, except then I told that joke and someone came up to me after the show and said, hey man, I'm from Washington, D.C., and some people here sleep with their own relatives. And that's the worst flex ever. But there was a point during the divorce where I actually wound up having dinner with my ex and her nephew boyfriend in Hagerstown in a Cracker Barrel, which is just the most white trash thing ever. And look, I get it. It's 2020. Maybe I shouldn't be using terms like white trash. So if anyone here was offended by that, you need to stop fucking your nephew, is what I'm saying. Anyway, I was getting this divorce, and Dave, my point of telling you about the divorce is my sister comes from a family that really sticks together. So that's why Dave, I guess, took it so personally that I was divorcing his sister. He set up this website, said Jason Fliegel is a fucking asshole, said all sorts of terrible things about me. At the end, it said Jason Fliegel is a fucking asshole again, in case you forgot. And then my favorite part of the website is at the very end, it said, this website is for sale, contact Dave with offer. Who the fuck is gonna buy jasonfliegel.com? The audience for that website is pretty much me and Dave. That he could have just texted me. Also, it's a little passive aggressive, right? Like his brand at this point is aggressive. Don't ease up on the throttle. It's a bit like finding out Hitler faked his death, and now he spends his time writing bad Yelp reviews for Jewish-owned businesses. Like you can't take it back to that level after you've gone Jason Fliegel's a fucking asshole. But that long story short, I bought the website. It's mine now. So go visit it. You can there's links there to my upcoming shows, my social media, so you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And like I said, I just want to tell you guys about my website and give it back to Seth.
Keep it going for Jason, everybody. I was trying to line up just the two of us to ease your broken heart, Jason. I'm sorry.
I appreciate it.
Well, check out
It
Jason's
does ease the
site.
pain.
Keep it going for Jason Fliegel, everybody. There we go. This isn't the Will Smith version. All right. Up next, we have stand by, my friends. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for tuning in for Schtick Live. I met this lovely individual in Second City Conservatory. We were taking the class, and then all hell broke loose in the country. So we took it online, and we got to be really goofy and fun with each other. It's been a pleasure getting to know her. I'm so excited to have her here tonight. Give it up for Margaret Hunsicker, everybody. Yeah.
I love this tropical theme for the show, Seth. It's so great. It's so good. Your question earlier about what do I not miss about the pre-quarantine times, this is a performing on stage specific thing, and it is what female identifying people may know as improv shorts. Those are the little Spanx that you wear under your skirts and dresses that usually compress your intestines, so you gotta take a big poop all the time. And you have to wear them, otherwise your panties will show when you're doing cartwheels on stage. That's what I don't miss, is the compression of those shorts. Cool, I'm gonna start my set now. So, it's summer, and we all know this. I mean, it's the summer of hell, but we still get our seasonal produce, like fruits and veggies that come out during the summer. And I want everybody to sort of think about the last time that you ate a strawberry and how good they are. Like, a strawberry is so good, so juicy, so much flavor packed in there. I honestly do believe 100%, I have made this list before, that a strawberry is the sluttiest fruit. Like, think about it. She goes with everything. You know, you can put her in milk. You can put her in desserts. She's in candy. She's great all by herself. And everybody knows that a strawberry is bisexual. Okay, everybody knows this. Think about it. You know this. But because everybody know if she's a top or a bottom. Trick question, she's verse. Oh my God. So I actually have a strawberry here with me today, and she's gonna give a portion of my set. Hey, my name's Strawberry, but tonight I'll be your daiquiri. Dip me in chocolate, splash me with cream, caramel. Fuck it, I'll do Greek yogurt. Sprinkle me with sugar, no matter what. I'm dazzling, tantalizing, right up into the moment you put me in your mouth. Sorry, I have to save her for later. Yes, just to rest now. So, quarantine baking has a dirty secret. And I learned this with the strawberry earlier. If you succeed, and this is what the deep state doesn't want you to know, if you succeed with your baking endeavors in quarantine, you have like this tray of muffins or this whole cake that's like perfectly decorated or this loaf of gorgeous sourdough bread. The dirty little secret is that you have to eat that. You have to eat all of it. All of it. Just like that kid in Matilda that stole a piece of the cake and then he had to sit on stage and just like, sorry, you eat all of it. Like literally, I perfected the vegan strawberry rhubarb pie for all of humanity. Like it is perfect. It is the best pie. And it is like, I can't stop eating it because I don't want my hard work to be wasted. Are you kidding me? I worked so hard on that. But now I have had nothing but vegan strawberry rhubarb pie for every meal for days. I am so amped up and I feel so sick. You cut me open, I bleed goo. My skin is flaky, a flaky crust. Everything is pie. Everything has always been pie. Everything will always be pie. So I think I'm gonna do a lemon poppy seed next. I have a brand new mental illness. It's existed for a while, but I don't think it's been named yet. It's this thing where I'm constantly being bombarded by advertisements and tutorials and product reviews on social media. And of course, all humans are just like monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, monkey do. I'm a lemming, I do what you do. So almost nothing brings me greater joy than recommending a product to a friend. A friend is like having a hard time and I'm like, okay, try a weighted blanket from Target. They're $60 so you can get a cute pink one. Actually, Starbucks sells a new flavor of cloud macchiato and it is the perfect indulgence on a hot summer's day. And I get so much joy out of saying that to them. I will wake up from a dead sleep just to text my friend like, did you know that ELF actually has a scented body oil? And I give it 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, that's my mental illness. Do I need professional intervention? Probably. And if I use ZocDoc app, I can make finding healthcare simple and fun. And that's my set. Thanks, everybody. So good.
Oh yeah, Margaret, thank you so much. That was awesome. You were at Austin before Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So killer. I love it.
Love it.
That was awesome. Hey, guess what? We have another person who has only done stand-up, I believe, once before. So we're honored with a really exclusive, awesome set that I also met in conservatory, and she's hilarious and awesome. Keep it going for Elena Panyard.
Hello. To answer Seth's question, the thing I don't miss is pretending I'm pregnant on the train in the morning, so that I can stand on the subway, which I have definitely done. But anyway, anyway, so I am Elena, like Seth said. I am in Chicago. I actually just got back 2 weeks ago, so I went to Michigan for St. Patrick's Day. And I brought a suitcase with only St. Patrick's Day themed clothes, like shamrock leggings, just different kind of like St. Patrick's Day clothes, and my work computer, thank God, because I ended up being in Michigan for 4 months, not feeling safe enough to come back to Chicago. So I wore St. Patrick's Day clothes for 2 months, and then I finally caved and started ordering clothes online. But it was hard convincing my parents letting me come back. They don't love that I live in Chicago, I don't think. Living in a big city makes them nervous, not because of coronavirus, but just like I think a lot of people are nervous when their kids move to a big city, which I don't understand at all, because I think small towns are so much worse, especially like in a big city, people kind of leave each other alone, they do their own thing, but in a small town, everything is game. Like everyone knows each other, everyone gets in each other's business. And I actually went to school in Michigan in a very small town called Mount Pleasant. And being in Mount Pleasant, I mean, we would have a cab driver come and he would drive us around for free. He'd let us sing karaoke only if it was Nickelback. And he would show up the next morning and just ask us how his haircut looked. Like, okay. And I mean, I guess we probably should have called the police, but in a small town, that stuff just goes, I feel. But my worst experience there by far was my freshman year. I was like 2 weeks in, and I was already terrified to like go to college and do everything on my own. Everyone was a murderer in my eyes. I was so nervous, and I thought I broke my foot. I don't know what I did, but my foot looked so bruised and swollen. So I'm like walking around campus and something feels wrong. So I decided to go to the on-campus doctor. And I'm nervous because I've never been to a doctor without my parents being there or without knowing that doctor my whole life. So it's my first time at a doctor, and he looks at my foot and he goes, you know, it might be broken. I don't really know, which campus doctors don't know anything, so that doesn't surprise me. But he didn't know what was wrong, so he goes, you know what? We do x-rays on the other side of town. Why don't you go there and get your x-ray done? But because I didn't have a car, he said that the hospital or the like on-campus doctor would give me a shuttle and take me to the x-ray clinic. So I'm sitting and I'm waiting for my x-ray and or waiting for the shuttle, and I go and I get in, and the guy introduces himself and he says, hi, my name's John. I'll take you to your appointment. And we get going, and he's talking about conspiracy theories and like this man should be wearing a tinfoil hat. He is so paranoid about everything. And we're driving and he's kind of freaking me out. Like I was already nervous just about being there, but he's making me really nervous, and we're kind of driving like in the middle of nowhere. It looks like he's taking me somewhere super creepy. But we get to the x-ray place, and he pulls up and he goes, all right, I'm going to go run some errands, but I'll be here when you're done. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So I go into the appointment and I check in at the front desk, and they give me paperwork to fill out, and I like fill it out, and I'm sitting down and I'm waiting, I'm on my phone, and I hear my name. Someone says Elena. So I look up, and John is standing there in a white medical coat. My shuttle driver is standing right at the door wearing a lab coat. And so I walk over and I ask him, like, hi. And he's like, oh, hi, my name's John. Nice to meet you. And reaches his hand out and shakes my hand. And I'm like, okay. And he goes and he takes me in and he does my entire x-ray, acting like he didn't drive me there. He asks me how my day is done. We have the same conversation I had in the car. And then when my x-ray is done, he goes, all right, like, you'll get your results in 24 hours. It was great meeting you, Elena. Like, have a great day. And I was like, what? Okay. And he hangs his coat up, and I watch him walk out the glass door, get into the shuttle, pull it up. I walk out and I get in and he goes, "How was your appointment?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, how was my appointment?" He took it. So then I was silently crying, like sobbing, because I thought this man was going to take me home and murder me. And then he asked me what my address is. And I'm like, "Why do you need my address?" And he's like, "Oh, to drop you off. If you have a broken foot, I want to drive you right to your door." So I gave him my address, which was also a very dumb thing on my part. But yeah, that was my first time going to the doctor and getting an x-ray. And then about a week later, I had to go to the bank, and, you know, I'm talking to the banker, and like the next morning I went to the cafeteria, and she was also the lunch lady, which is fine. 2 jobs is fine, but everyone in that job did 2 things, and it was very weird. But that is my set, so thank you.
Oh man, Elena, that's insane. That's crazy. I'm glad that you're okay. And I was waiting for him to pop up as another, like he was just several people. Like the Truman Show in real life. That is ridiculous. I want to try that now. I want to try and be in 2 different jobs and act like I didn't just do that. Professionalism at its best. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep the energy up. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is awesome. We do this once a month, last Tuesday of each month. We've got new people returning comics. It's a fun time. I love it. It's fun to hear and see people that I haven't seen in like months. So thank you so much for tuning in. You guys rock. If you want to donate any money, act like we're at Shuba's or at the Airedale or where were we before? Flash nightclub back in the day. If you remember that, it's like a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Order some Jaeger bombs, some Vegas bombs with you, bro. Seeing the stand-up because that was our demographic, was all those guys. That just do the equivalent of that, and you can donate some money to schtickcomedy@gmail.com. We have a PayPal. Go ahead, do it up. That'd be awesome. All the proceeds go to Black Lives Matter movement. So you're doing something good, and you are doing something good. You're here checking out other people. Putting their heart and soul on the line here, talking about weird ass stories and being very goofy. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let's give it up for Erica Geiser, everybody.
Hello. Okay. I don't have anything that I don't miss from pre-COVID because I miss everything. But Margaret Set reminded me with the strawberry of something that I really hate, is that, you know that song Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles? It's a whole song about watermelon, right? Which I think is a metaphor for like eating pussy or something. But anyway, it's like all about watermelon. It's like in the title. But the first lyric is, "It tastes like strawberries." And I'm just like, no, Harry, it doesn't. It tastes like watermelon. That's what the whole song is about. Like you can't think of like any descriptors for a watermelon. It's like crunchy, sweet. It's not, if it tasted like strawberries, why would we eat watermelons? They've got like a whole taste around them. Whereas a strawberry is just a berry, you can just pop it in. Okay, I guess I'm really mad about that. Okay, so I saw my mom recently, and she told me that I'm not a morning person, and that made me furious. I think it would have been fine if she had said something like, "Oh, you wake up late," or "Oh, it's noon," or like something like that. But like the way she phrased it, like, "You're not a morning person," like that's like my identity, you know, like I'll tell you if I'm a morning person or not. Okay, like you don't have to tell me that. I'll tell you as soon as I wake up. Because if you're not a morning person, what does that make you? It makes you a night owl. If you wake up late, you're not even a person anymore. You're a bird. The irony of it is that birds are normally associated with the morning. The early bird gets the worm, cock-a-doodle-doo, all that shit. I bet the morning people, they probably got got up for their 8 a.m. meeting. They were all sipping on their cold brews. And I bet they were scared that we were going to start calling them birds, that we were going to call them worm eaters or some shit. And so they were like, you know what? The best defense is a good offense. So we're going to call them birds before they can even wake up and think about calling us birds. We're going to win this shit. I'm still not talking to my mom. Okay. I'm fascinated. Do you guys like that tradition or transition where I just didn't say anything? Okay. I'm fascinated by people who self-censor. It's really funny to me because you get like a little glimpse into like all of their like psychological issues or like the things that they're holding on to. And like when someone's like, what the F? It's like, we know what F means, okay? Like you can just say it, or like, why do you feel like you can't? There's one time I was standing outside and I overheard a woman who was on the phone with her mom, and it was a little bit after New Year's, and she was like describing the scene at a party that she had been at. And I guess she was trying to describe like a woman who's like way too drunk and had like thrown up or something like that. But I guess she didn't want to say that. But what she said was, she had diarrhea from the other side, if you know what I mean. Which is way worse. You could say like she puked, she vomited, she ralphed, whatever, but like diarrhea from the other side, that's like horrifying. And it's like, then you can't even imagine that it was like blah, blah. It was probably like like something like so disgusting. And I think about this woman a lot. And I think about her in like other situations and kind of like what like crazy, awful, awkward things she would say instead of something normal that she's like trying to avoid. So I picture her talking about like maybe like the first time she like got with her boyfriend, just like talking to her girlfriends about it. And she was like, yeah, you know, well, I didn't want to tell Vince that I was like into like light butt play. So I was just like, Vince, I want you to get knuckle deep in my butt pussy, you know?
You know?
The big irony of this woman is that she has diarrhea of the mouth. Okay. I'm trying to work on myself, as I hope we're all doing right now. I'm trying to like make improvements and like make sure that like my life aligns with my values. So this is kind of embarrassing, but one of the things I'm working on is like getting over my like bad cop fetish, like, because it's just no bueno anymore. You know what I mean? You can't be like fuck 12 in the streets and then fuck me 12 in the sheets. That just like does not work. So I'm trying to like convert my police fetish into a defund the police fetish. So I had this guy over and I was like, baby, I have this fantasy where you just like give me all the resources I need and you invest in my mental health and you treat me like a whole human being. And then I realized that like my fetish actually now is just like to have a boyfriend. And that sucks because I can't find anybody who wants to get that kinky with me. So that's my time. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, keep it going. Oh yeah, thank you, Erica. That's awesome.
Good, Erica.
Diarrhea from the other end. That sounded like my Kiev incident earlier. I can't stress enough how painful this was and gross. I've never had bread shoot from my nose. Never diarrhea. Am I right? Who knows? It's 2020. Anything could happen. Okay, let's keep it going, guys. This next performer is a hilarious Chicago comedian. Give it up for Matt Keller, everybody. Oh, Matt, where are you?
I'm here.
I'm looking. You're deep. Oh, no, you're not. Sorry. I got
to the K.
There we go.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me. I did stand up one time before this, and it was in high school in front of my entire high school, and I'm more nervous for this. So to describe my state, that's where I'm at. I'm really healthy up here. Something I don't miss about pre-quarantine is nightclubs. I have a strong feeling I think they should be completely abolished after this, along with the police. Nothing good happens there. I dare you to name at least 3 good times you've had at a nightclub. You can't. And if you want to, you can email me, mattekeller1996@gmail.com, anything you had. And I'll fact check it. I will follow up with sources. Seth, I do want to address something. It's kind of been weighing on me a little bit, specifically to you. My coworker recently had a baby, and she named it Seth. And I was talking to my mother about it, and I said, "Oh, she had her baby. Its name is Seth." And my mom just said, "I don't like that name," and that's. I'm really sorry. I don't think you should ever meet my mother. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, Ben, I don't have a ton, but I wanted to kind of share this moment that I had. So I love walking. I think walking is such great therapy, and this is actually a true story. I took a walking class in college, my undergrad at Carthage College. And yeah, so this is for real. I had to take a physical education requirement, and one of the options was walking for fitness. And I said, sign me the fuck up. And I loved this class so much. I got along with everyone because I didn't talk to anyone. And, we'd meet twice a week. I was usually stoned. And life was just phenomenal for good old Maddie Kells over here. So my RA was actually also in that class, and not to be an elitist, but he was a total Dorkatron 3000. Like, coming from me, that's a lot to say. But I think he was kind of scared of me, based on me and my roommate's ability to drink entire bottles of wine by ourselves and still rally. So he was like, these are unearthly creatures of this earth. But one day during walking class, he came up to me. He's a nice guy. I was like, what's up, Paul? He was like, what's up, Matt? And he invited me to his art show on campus. And I thought, why not? Paul's a good guy. I'll get dinner. I'll grab a friend. We'll go over. We'll see the show. We'll go back to the show. We'll smoke a blunt. We'll rinse. We'll repeat. It'll be fine. So this is what the plan was. And me and my friend Austin, we arrive at the venue and we indulge in some crudité available at the event. And I see Paul. He goes in for a hug. I am crazy stoned at this point, so I'm not cool with it, but I just let it happen. I kind of roll with it. And Paul tells me and my friend Austin to, walk around, enjoy the show. So we're like, great. We go outside, we rip another hit from our blunt, we go back inside, and we circle the perimeter. And Austin and I are, milling around, and we stumble on Paul's grand magnum opus of the show, which is just a beautiful self-portrait, right? Yeah, it's like really dark, has great little amber tones, and the piece has movement. So I'm just like looking at it top to bottom, and then I see his uncut penis in the portrait. And Austin and I, stoned out of our minds, politely just lit ourselves out and walked home. And walking is such great therapy. I ran into Paul the next day. I told him he did a great job at a show. And he's a good guy and he still does art. I don't know his Instagram handle, but if you email me at mattekeller1996, I can let you know. That's all I got. Thank you so much.
Oh man, that was awesome. Thanks, man. Please, everybody email Matt as much as you can. Funny side story about my name. When I was born back in 1988, whoa, what a different time, right? My parents thought, the doctors told them that I was for sure a girl. They were like 95% sure. Bi girl stuff. So they named me Sydney, and they had no names ready for a boy. And then I was born, and they were like, oh, he's got a peen. So this is technically out of the womb a boy. And they were like, we don't know what to name him. So my mom was like, I saw a credit in the movie that I watched like last week of Seth, and I thought that's a cool name, and that's how I was named. So that's it. I don't know.
There are boys named Sydney, though. I don't understand.
It's strange, but yeah, it turns out it's like the third son of Adam and Eve. I don't know, maybe we'll have to fact check it, but old name, Hedi, if you can help me out.
I got you. I'm gonna look it up in the Jewish globe we have going on. On that Rabbi's on dial.
Awesome. I can't wait to meet Matt's mom. Be like, I've heard so much about you. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep that fucking fun, alive energy going for Mark Palchick, everybody.
Woo!
Whoa. I'm not sure I have enough energy to follow Nikk. Nikk, you have the greatest eyes I've ever seen on any stage. Congratulations. The one thing I do not miss about the before times is commuting to work. I mean, it is so nice to just get out of bed, go to my desk, and just not do work there. I'm Mark Palchick. I'm Mark Palchick. I'm 70 years old, and I read the news today. Oh boy, 10,000 dead in Blackburn, Lancashire. You know, I think it is so unfair that people accuse President Trump of not keeping his campaign promises. With 4 million coronavirus cases, 20 million people out of work, and rising racism, he has stopped immigration. I mean, who in their right mind would want to live here? And he got Mexico to pay for the wall. Only this time it's to keep us out. Well, the good news is that baseball's back. And of course, the bad news is it's a pandemic, so they're taking every possible precaution. Every player is getting their temperature taken every day. Every other day, they're getting tested for COVID. And if they test positive, they're isolated, which means because most players are either African American or Latino, that for the first time in history, African Americans and Latinos are getting better health care than the rest of the country. I'll tell you, everything has changed in 2020, and baseball is no different. It went from 180-game season to 60-game season, and we've had to change some of the terms to accommodate the times. So, for instance, a strike is now contactless delivery. Stealing a base, well, that's obviously looting, as in Trey Turner is one of the best looters in baseball. The cleanup batter, now the sanitizer. Bad call, fake news. And of course, an error, well, that's a Trump. I'll tell you, I really miss the good old days, like 2019, when it was a good thing to have an infectious laugh. I mean, this whole year has been insane. Does anybody really know what day it is? We ought to change the calendar to January, February, COVID. Happy New Year. And I am so befuddled at home. On Monday, I got up, and I got ready for church. And then I remembered, I'm Jewish. I don't go to church. I don't go to synagogue either, but I sure as hell don't go to church. And then last night, I caught myself watching a Hallmark movie and liking it. what's next? Am I going to start paying attention to people? Well, I had to counteract that super saccharine movie, so I watched the news. And I saw all the news about the protests. And I got to tell you, I admire most of those protesters. They have really stepped up their game since I marched in the 60s. They've got medics. They've got choreographers. They've got advertising. Today's protest is brought to you by Taco Obama, because why should the police be the only ones with gas? And watching those protests, you know, I started thinking about diversity and my own choices. Like, for instance, why do we have so many different types of eggs? Do we really need white eggs and brown eggs? Do we really need pasture-raised and organic and emu eggs? Who the hell eats emu eggs? And I'm tired of my eggs having an origin story. I do not need to know that my chicken spent the afternoon in a bucolic pasture nibbling on maggot morsels served in artesian cow pies. Really? I don't want to buy the farm. I just need a dozen eggs. I've got omelets to make. I'll tell you, I figured out that age, young and old, is not binary. I mean, we all know 20-somethings that are so old. And we also know 70-year-olds, well, they refuse to retire. Hey, sorry, not sorry. But I maintain firmly that you are not old unless when the sun rises, the first thing you say is, let him cook his own damn eggs. You are not old unless on the subway, pregnant women give you their seat. You are not old unless your side piece is a night nurse. You are not old unless your only pickup line is, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Well, I'm not old. I walk my dog every day, twice a day, for 2 hours. I mean, it ought to be only an hour and a half, but that dog stops every 10 minutes so I can pee. I'm Mark Palchick. Thank you very much.
Woo! Keep it going for Mark, everybody! Yeah, Mark. Mark was on our first Schtick live that we did, where we had people like send in videos, and it was awesome. It was so good, so great to have you back. And the background was killer, and the mic. You're one of the few guys who had a mic on here. That looked awesome. Thank you so much. How we doing, guys? You still in there? Thank you so much for tuning into the show. We got a couple more comics left, and we saved some of the best for last. And I'm telling you, all these guys are amazing, though, honestly. I'm just going to plug one more time before we get into these next 3 in a row. Schtickcomedy@gmail.com, PayPal. I'll post it in the chat again. If you want to donate any money at all, it's going to the Black Lives Matter movement. All the donations are going there. We just wanted to raise a little money. This is free, and everybody here tonight killed it. Normally you'd go into, you know, a bar or a club, not a nightclub if you're Matt, and dish out some cash, probably way too much for a beer. So, you know, just what you think is fair would be cool, and it's going towards a great cause. So thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in for some awesome comedy tonight. All right, let's get to the next performer. I'm so excited to have her here because I used to have her on at Schtick a bunch back in DC. I'm sure she's done it a bunch with Elizabeth and Stacy since I've left. But it's fun to see her again, perform with her again. So please, let's give it up for Davine Ker.
Woo!
Woo! Let's find you here. Hold on. Yeah.
Yes. You pick white people music for me. I'm so thankful. Because I kid you not, some shows people would put everybody does kung fu fighting, bringing me up, and that's got to stop.
God.
That level of racism's got to stop. I don't miss that at all. Okay. You know, something else I do not miss from before COVID is my poopy shoes.
What?
I used to have to bring an extra pair of shoes if I needed to take a dump before a show, because if people see my shoes under the stall, and then I go on the stage and I said, oh, that headliner, I know she just took a shit before the show. So I had to bring a different pair of shoes so that nobody would know it was me. because you don't want to know your jokes, but also, anyways, that's TMI. That's oversharing. I mean, I know things get personal on the stage, but poopy shoes, I don't miss them at all. Something else I don't miss is pretending to like gazpacho. I mean, I'm so glad there's no more like summer gathering and people are making gazpacho, which is just a bowl of ketchup. And sometimes people are trying to impress me. They're like, this is a white gazpacho. Okay, it has cherry and brie and little almond, and it's white. And I'm like, basically, jizz tastes like grilled almond, and cherries when you pop your cherry. You're just giving me a losing your virginity soup, okay? I mean, white gazpacho tastes like when white people move in and it kicks you out of the neighborhood. Like it's just. I don't know. Anyways, I've been watching a lot of TV like everyone else during COVID, right? And there's a lot of there's more and more shows with strong female characters, which really bothers me because when I watch TV, I want to watch fiction. All right? I want to watch dude who like know what they're doing, not strong female characters. I see that every day. I look at myself in the mirror, like, give me fiction, give me something to dream about. Like, I got it. Anyways. Oh my God, that girl just left. She must be a feminist. She's like, I'm offended. You're supposed to like girls. Anyway. And there's a new show that I've been obsessed about. It's so involving. I don't know if you guys watch Indian Matchmaker. It's an amazing show. You guys should all watch it because it's so relatable to my background because I'm like 25% Indian. Well, that's Cambodia. Anyways, do some research. Basically, they're teaching us that there's no arranged marriage. It's marriage or love marriage, right? And when I was a kid, like literally I was 12 years old and I already had suitors lining up the door in my house, right? And my mom would like say, like, be a good girl, show your little mole on your neck because it shows that you're gonna wear a lot of fancy jewelries and earrings. So all these potential mother-in-laws looking at my neck and look at my fingers. And some would say like, oh, she's not gonna work hard, so she's a lady. And other people say, oh, she's not gonna work hard, she's gonna be lazy. I don't know which criteria they had, but it never worked. And I would look at the guy, like my potential suitor, sitting there with their mom, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You couldn't find a pussy on your own. You have to have your mom bring you there. You're just sitting there looking at me. Like, do you have like this kind of fetish where we're gonna fuck and you'll be like, oh man, this pussy my mom picked for me. This pussy my mom picked for me. Oh good, I love this pussy my mom picked for me. Oh my God, I'm gonna come, Mom, you picked this pussy for me. It's like, there's some guys too, like the minute they walk in and they look at me from head to toe and they'll be like, nope, disqualified. She doesn't look dirty and naughty. And I'm like, dude, my mom's right here. Anyways, I'm really glad that I'm not dating anymore. And I'm pretty much stuck with my husband forever because once the world reopened, I don't want to socialize with nobody. I mean, it was hard enough. I had so many criteria when I was single. He had to be like sensual and funny and have a high credit score and not smoke. But now, I mean, if I was in a dating market, it would be like willing to wear a mask, fully support distant learning, like not sending your kids to school. I mean, how would I find anyways, I need to work on that. What else? It sucks because during this time of the year, I would be in Canada with my family, and that's where my family is. And I miss my mom, I mean, that would be a time of the year when my mom would be like looking at me and saying like, that's why. I didn't smile. Was that a screenshot? Okay. That's like, that's why you're fat and you almost had cancer. You eat too much white people food. Stop going to the restaurant. And I'm like, Mom, I'm on vacation. When I come to Montreal, I will go to every restaurant because I'm visiting. She's like, no, stop doing that. Stop doing that. We're first generation refugee. You cannot do that. So I would buy groceries and stuff her fridge, and she would look at it like, look at all these cheese blocking my kimchi, all these white people food, too many cheese in my fridge. And then I would take her out to a buffet, and she would make a cheese plate. I'm like, what the fuck, Mom? And she's like, well, there's white people watching. We have to look like we fit in. So anyways, we're talking about a lot of racial issues, and people ask me like, Davine, are you sick and tired of people thinking Asian women always give happy endings? So I do have a problem with that, mainly because it implies that it's only for men. Like if I can find a nice little Asian girl who like have carpal tunnel for me and commit for 45 minutes and make me come, that would be amazing. I don't know where they are. I mean, it's only for dudes. How come only guys get happy endings? You know, like I need one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that was my time. Thank you, you guys.
Woo! Guys, keep it going for Davine. Woo! Oh yeah. Love Davine. Thank you so much for being here and putting on your expensive makeup for us. You look. Oh my gosh. I just put on my Target makeup today, so. Okay. Let's keep that energy going for our next comic. You know what I do? Something I don't miss as well, I'll add, is I'm really bad at doing if anyone else here has hosted a comedy show before, go up and you want to do like the handshake or like, I just want to hug. I mean, I can't do it now, any of this, but like, I almost wanted to just like hug people but like, I'm like, I don't know people's comfort levels and I've never asked before like I should. So it's always super awkward when I go up there. I'm like, hey, great. I'm like, I am so awkward. I'm so sorry. So I don't miss that. And I'm going to do better with that in 2022 when we can do live content. Okay. All right. Let's give it up. She's been on the show before. She's so funny. She hosts her own shows. She actually was just telling me that they were able to host a live show in DC again on a rooftop safely, which is awesome. So there's hope yet. Please give it up for Hedi Sandberg, everybody.
Thanks. I'll wait till you find me. I'll just let you just be in the camera like that, and I'm just gonna chill here. Yeah, perfect, guys. How are we?
Yeah.
What's good? Yeah, Seth, you are Adam and Eve's third child. I feel like you're the forgotten child, though, because everyone's like, oh, yeah, Cain and Abel. And you're like, what about me? So, Matt's mom hates your name. She's like, fuck that kid. Guys, I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me. This is cool. I feel like what I don't miss. Ooh, I just had a really good thing. I do not miss happy hour. Fuck that shit. Are you kidding me? After work, I want to go home, okay? I want to go home and be alone. Don't talk to me. If I want to do a Zoom happy hour, no, I can't. No. They're like, oh, we just get food there. I'm like, I don't want to eat fucking chips and like fucking fries and like gross shit for dinner. No, bitch. I don't want to be fucking like wasted at 6:30 p.m. Like, let me get till 8:30 and I'm good, you know? So don't ever invite me to a Zoom happy hour. I'm not going to go to it. Let's see, guys. I was hanging out with a friend the other night. And she was like, oh my God, I really want a baby. And I said, pause right the fuck there, okay? I said, you don't want a baby, you're just lonely. And she was like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, right, I just saved you, you're welcome. Also, she's a lesbian, so it's gonna be a lot harder for her to actually get a baby. But I was hanging out with my sister. I have 5 nieces and nephews, and my sister has a 7-month-old. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with babies, but they are just so boring. What is the point of a baby? Okay, they don't do anything. I was looking at my niece, and I was like, I'm not understanding this. I was like, okay, she's not lively. She is not exciting. She just kind of like lies there on her back, like, what? But then I realized, I was like, oh, wait a second, that's also like me during sex. So we are, in fact, related. She's already taken after her auntie Hedi. Super proud of her. But I kid a little bit, you know, comedian. Hey, ladies in that gallery view. Y'all like to get on top. You do that, right? You ride that dick. Seth is like, yeah, I ride that. What are you doing, Seth? Okay. Okay, well, let's try this. Ladies, you ever ride dick so hard your boobs get whiplash? I'm going to take that laughter as sometimes, okay, let me just tell you, you need to stop riding dick so hard. You stop that now, okay? He doesn't deserve that at all. You just, like, get up there and you just bounce a little bit. That's fine. He's still going to come. There's no extra credit for like doing like giving him a whole show. If he's like, hey baby, put on a show for me. You put on fucking Netflix for him. You both enjoy that shit, okay? Just relax. So I'm seeing someone now. Thank you. It's so interesting. He's actually my former college fuck buddy. Right? Yeah. And I'm liking it though. It's like, it's new and it's interesting. And I feel like it's different now because we're both, we're more grown up, we're more mature. Because it used to be like, we're just like a couple of 20-year-olds having mediocre sex in a twin bed. But now we're just like a couple of 30-year-olds having mediocre sex in a queen bed. So I'm just, a decade really does make a difference. I'm super proud of how we've grown over the years. My guys, I have a cat. I got a cat during quarantine because I was like, oh my God, I'm so sad and lonely. So I did that thing. He is a COVID coping mechanism kitty for sure. And his name is Morpheus Eagle. Ooh, yeah, thank you for the head nods. That's a good ass fucking name, okay? I'm actually gonna write a book of children/really cat names. So let me give you guys a little example right here. Lucifer Titanium. You guys seem to be in shock. I'm gonna keep going. If you have a girl, Lilith Titanium. Ooh. Okay, Seth, this is for you. Okay, guys, this is some Jewish mysticism shit right here.
Oh,
Lilith was actually Adam's first wife, but she was like a little too ahead of her time. She was like, ooh, fuck you, Adam. I will not wash your loincloth. And God was like, oh, no. We can't have this. So he got rid of her and he made Eve. And she was like, ooh, I'll do it. So fuck Eve. Don't name your daughters that name. Lilith, that's a badass name. I also feel like Seth, in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe like Adam and Lilith had an affair afterwards. And like, you're like the love child. That's like everyone forgets about your name. Maybe we're going to tag team a set about this, about your little.
I'm down.
And Matt's mom will not watch it because she fucking hates it apparently so much. What else, guys? No, Morpheus Eagle, he's super great. He's on the floor. He's just chilling right now. He's exhausted from me just loving him so much. Because you ever like get like cute aggression when you just want to squeeze everything? I have that so fucking bad. I'm surprised he's not dead yet. But I feel like as I'm like a mommy now. Like where my cat mommies at or cat daddies. I mean, no. Your cat daddy. Okay, I can see it. Guys, I feel like I get the whole like parenting thing. Like I get, like being anxious all the time and not sleeping, and I get the lack of privacy. Oh my God, there's no more privacy. Like I'll be in the bathroom doing my thing, and then Morpheus Eagle comes in. He's all like, "Are you gonna bury that?" And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna fucking bury this. Like this litter box is big enough for the both of us. Like I'm trying to save water in this house, like I was in my bed and I was using my vibrator. Oh, kitty cat, Margaret, what's up? I was using my vibrator and then he like jumped up on the bed. He looks at me, looks at the vibrator, looks at me, and he was like a little bit judgy. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. And I had to explain to him, I was like, listen, mommy is not flexible like you. If she could lick her own pussy, she fucking will. But sometimes mommy needs help. So I did not come that night, and we are working on some boundaries. Just that. I'll end on this. As a mommy, you definitely feel like a failure sometimes, right? Because when I first got him, he was just like not latching on to my breast. And I was like, what? I was under the impression breastfeeding is the most natural, most beautiful thing in the world. And it wasn't working for us. So yeah, it was exhausting. But anyways, I have a lactation consultant now. So he's up to a healthy weight, thank God. Lastly, I also I still kind of feel this way. I feel shitty about myself because I don't know who his real father is. Like, oh, it's so awkward when he gets older. But anyways, I feel like I'm just not going to teach him English. So it's just kissing noises in this house. That's it. So yeah, he's just chilling. Actually, he's on his back right now. So I think he's taking after me as well. This is going to be an interesting living situation. Okay, guys, my name's Hedi Sandberg. Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Yay!
Over Hedi, everybody. Oh yeah. My my girlfriend has a cat, and I wasn't really a cat person until
you were forced to be one.
I was more of a dog guy. I've always wanted a dog, but like this cat, his name is Little Sushi Roll. We call him Little Sushi for short. He's a black cat, and he's older, so he does half eyes all the time. So he just looks like he's like really all the time when he looks at you. It's so sarcastic. It's so great. And he's been a little under the weather lately. He's been sneezing a bunch and just been just taking a lot of naps. So we were laying last night just watching RuPaul, like I do. I love RuPaul. And with Little Sush, and I just wanted to see what would happen, and I put my finger like right in his paw, and he held it like a baby, and I was like, oh my God, I'll kill anybody that comes near you. I was like, I must defend this cat. So I guess I'm kind of a cat person now. Also, Little Sush, I will have to murder you. That's just how it goes now. Yeah, that was a little weird trajectory, but we're gonna bring it back on home. Thank you so much, Hedi. Thank you for all the performance tonight. We have reached the ultimate comic performer tonight. I'm so excited to have him here. He's been super patient and waiting, and he's so funny. So please give a big round of applause for Ryan Hayes, everybody.
Woo!
Oh man. Oh, thank you for having me again, Seth. This has been a blast. Everybody's been great so far. Except this last guy, I'm not sure. So the question was one thing that I don't miss from before quarantine, and I think this is going to be a theme of the set. All of Florida is one thing I do not miss from prior to quarantine. It's a shit place. It's the nation's armpit. And I actually, so this first part comes from before I actually wrote this 10 days before we went on lockdown. My partner and I took a vacation to Miami to visit her parents down in Naples. And this is the description of Florida that I wrote as I was sitting on the beach. Right as you're reaching that serene fog where you're not fully awake, but not asleep. You're not fully drunk, but you're also not sober. When you're off somewhere else and not fully present, a person who makes much more money than you walks by and ruins whatever enjoyment you're having by talking on their phone on the speaker. That's what I got as my description of Florida. I also had, we were talking before we got on the plane because that was kind of, the coronavirus was kind of just now becoming a thing in the news early in March. And she was really, really worried about the virus itself. And I was actually just more concerned with being an interracial couple flying to Florida at any time. I thought that was dangerous and irresponsible. Cruise ship levels of irresponsibility. Also, by the way, I just think that this is just a reckoning for cruise ships. If you liked it, you had it coming. This was happening. Anybody deserves it. But if you like cruise ships, go fuck yourself. I won't apologize. I was I actually recently just left Chicago for the first time. I had to go back to St. Louis to go to a funeral. It was non-COVID related, but it was really nice. And one of the best parts about actually going back home was getting time to spend with the little kids in my family and hanging out with my cousins who have kids and all that. And it just really brought those washing a wave of memories and emotions that go along with childhood. And one thing I realized is that these kids, I have to give Gen Z a lot of credit. They're a lot funnier and a lot tougher than us millennials are. There's almost no doubt about it. So a good example, my cousin, her oldest kid, he's 10 years old, and she was giving him a spanking. An actual quote from this kid as he was receiving a spanking was, "You can beat me, but I will not be silenced." And that is some of the most revolutionary shit I've ever heard anyone of any age say. So the fact that a little Gen Zer could say that while getting beaten, that just inspires me for the next generation. Shout out to them. Some of y'all don't think child abuse is funny, and it's quite clear you haven't spent a lot of time in a Brown household, so talk to somebody. What's up next? Because that's rough. So one thing about me now, I just recently adopted a puppy with my partner. It's a cute ass dog. One thing that I never thought I would be doing at this point in my life is negotiating with someone who can't speak English or read or take 25 steps without licking the ground to get sustenance from the moisture that's laying around. So that's been good. I call her Princess Peepaws because during the first couple of weeks, she had this tendency to just pee, and then cause she wanted to be a good girl, she wanted to sit and show you she was a good girl, but she would sit down in the pee. Yeah, which is funny because I don't know, it sounds really dramatic, but I would say we have another dog, and I would say the other dog is actually the messy bitch in the families. And he might be around here somewhere, but he's been my unabashed best friend during quarantine, and maybe a little bit before, to be honest. After talking with some of my friends on these Zoom calls, I think my dog ranked higher than I was giving him credit for. He's a much better listener, and he does not have questionable views on Blue Lives. One thing about myself, I am a soft man. I'm sure you can't tell by the soft lighting that I had in here before. My partner actually came in here and told me to turn on the light so I don't look like I'm hosting an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? But yeah, I'm actually a soft man. I'm soft to a point to where I don't know if you can tell, but I cannot get aroused without a Yankee candle or something. A $10 to $15 candle, maybe something that's basket of apples, something with a fall scent. One of my first dreams, actually when I was younger, I had two main dreams. The first one was that I was going to be a rapper. And actually, as it turns out, I'm more of a clarinet guy. Very talented with woodwind instruments. And I don't know if you guys have played a woodwind instrument, but once you have to moisten your lips with Vaseline to play a wood reed, you can't really get on the mic and spit a hot 16 after that. It's just not, we are not feeling you in the same way. It's like they know. But my other dream when I was younger, my plan B, so I graduated high school in 2009, and I would used to have these fantasies about being a presidential advisor, mainly to Barack Obama, right? Because before the Trump campaign, being a presidential advisor wasn't an actual job. So I would be in class, and I'd be having these daydreams, about hanging out in the Oval Office with Barack, while he's talking about policy, and he tells an inside joke and a laugh or something like that, to get some of the pressure off. Maybe later we go off into the Rose Garden, sneak a cigarette or something like that, have another inside joke. Maybe Michelle goes out of town, we spend the night together dancing, have dinner, have a couple more inside jokes. I don't know, maybe he wakes me up in the morning with a warm towel on my face. I'm rambling a little bit, but basically I just want to have sex with Barack Obama. I miss him so much, and he's so So how much time do I got?
If you want to do one more, dude, go for it, buddy.
Okay, I'll go for one more. Oh man. Oh God. I'm not sure this is funny at all, but an idea I had was that, so what occurred to me before all this, actually, fuck all that. So what occurred to me is that 55 is not very old, and it should no longer be considered a senior citizen. I know plenty of fucking 55, people between 55 and 60 who are in the prime of their lives. They're making more money than they've ever made. They're in excellent shape. You know what I mean? Like they have used the system to maximum capacity to their benefit. And so I think that we should maybe not get rid of the senior label, but maybe come up with something that's above seniors. And I did a lot of scientific research, and I think the category for between 70 and 95 should just be old as fuck. It should just be a category called old as fuck. And this is what I'm thinking. They don't have to pay for healthcare, which includes marijuana. They don't have to pay for transportation. And they sure as hell all do not get to drive anymore. No more fucking driving for people who are old as fuck. And that is why we provide the transportation and the marijuana if they so choose, so they can chill the fuck out while they're getting a ride to where they need to go. Thank you guys so much. My name is Ryan Haynes. Woo! You guys have been a blast. Thank you for having me again.
Give it up for Ryan, everybody. Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, is this going to play? Oh, I had. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Let me spotlight this. I don't know, Mark, are you still here? Mark, what do you think?
I'm still here. And I am officially old as fuck.
You heard it here. All right, there you go, Ryan. You got some good feedback on that. Hell yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, dude, this was such a great show. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We raised $50 tonight, dude. $50. That's pretty awesome. And you know what? I'm going to throw in, this was something I didn't tell anybody about before, but I just figured I would match whatever we did tonight. So actually we made $100 tonight because you guys rock. Thank you. I appreciate you for coming out to this show and giving people that I love a chance at telling some jokes and doing what they love. So you guys rock. Have a great rest of the month, guys. Hopefully I see you in some other venues on Zoom or whatever. If you have shows, plug them here or let me know and I'll plug them through Schtick. Would love to. Thank you guys so much. We're going to do this every Tuesday until we reopen. And maybe we'll even keep doing it then too. This seems like the new format. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Thank you to all the performers tonight. If you want to donate money, shtickcomedy@gmail.com. Love you guys. I'll match whatever you do. And I'm going to play Third Eye Blind's Losing a Whole Year because holy shit, it is relevant and it's a pretty great song. So let's do that. Love you guys. Feel free to put anything in the chat or say bye. Whatever.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you guys. Love you.